Let's go to Mitch, who's a Spurs fan. All right, Mitch?
Hi, fellas. How you doing?
Yeah,
Hi,
Mitch. Well, look, what's your take on it tonight? Being a Spurs fan myself, I thought we played okay. Poor in front of goal.
Yeah, I'm just a bit baffled about some of the fans' reactions to Conte and his setup and his tactics again tonight. I'm not quite sure how they're blaming him for our front line and our midfielders not being able to sort of hit the target. I think that we played well tonight, and a lot of people seem to disagree with that, which I don't really get. I get that Frankfurt weren't great, and we probably did miss an opportunity to pick up 3 points away from home, but there's no easy away games in the Champions League, and the reaction's a bit over the top for me, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. You know, on another day, if the chances are taken, and there were plenty, if you take one or two of those, you come away with the one. You're saying tactically got it right, defensively solid, didn't concede a goal. You go away from home, nick 1-0. I mean, you know that's classic Champions League. That's if you can do that in the group stage, you're absolutely flying. And in front of goal tonight, I mean, there were parts of the game where Spurs, I felt. Certainly midfield, I felt at times they could have a little bit more grip of the game, but you can't have a 90-minute game where you control completely.
No,
Frankfurt, up in their final third aren't good enough. I don't think they'll be good enough next week. I don't think they're good. Spurs are good enough. Spurs are good enough to go in next week and win that game 2 or 3. I don't think Frankfurt.
I agree. Yeah, I think we're a better team than them, and we should be beating them. You know, sort of 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
At home as well. Yeah. But, you know, like you just said, on another day, Son puts his chance that he had in the first half in the back of the net, or at least hits the target with it. So I'm just, you know, I'm seeing it all over social media. Oh, Conte's playing boring football. It's rubbish. The setup's wrong. Why is Emerson playing again? All of that.
Okay, let me ask you a question then, Mitch. Right, away from home in the Champions League, right? That is a good tactic to have. Away at Spurs in the Champions League, away at Chelsea, I've seen this before. This is not just an isolated game. So I think the conversation about the Champions League, I think tonight, Conte got it right. But I've seen Spurs, even at home against Wolves first half, you're slow starters and you kind of hand the initiative a little bit to the opposition. I mean, I thought it took Spurs a while to get themselves up into a position where you thought, do you know what, we're actually good enough to win this game. And I don't know whether you can do that in the league and expect to get away with it every single week. That I think might be what some of the Spurs fans are saying.
Yeah, and I think they're completely right. And it's been a definite pattern in our games. First halves, in particular, we've been really slow starters, and we saw it against Arsenal at the weekend as well. We just weren't at the races, particularly early on, and we were 1-0 down because of that. So, but like you said, in the Champions League, it's a completely different game plan, completely different set of tactics, and I just think that you need to be sensible and you need to be clever if you want to make out of those group stages.
Yeah. And you will. But you will. You win. You've got 2 more home games left on the away game. Win the 2 home games. You're home and host.
Yeah,
you want to top the group ideally.
Look, Trace, you make a good point on Tottenham. I think what the issue the Spurs fans have got at the minute is the way we're playing in the Premier League. And, you know, you're
That's
right,
fair.
Champions League, good point tonight. You take it, you move on.
Yeah.
Second in the table, lovely. If we play like that in the Premier League, that's where we got an issue.
Well, Spurs have not played well this season. I know you smashed Leicester, right? But there were moments in that game where Leicester were in it, okay? Okay, forget the way at Sporting Lisbon, right?
Come on, man, you've got 17 points.
No,
you can't say we've not been playing well.
But you've not been playing well.
17 points.
No, the points actually really distort what I've seen of Spurs. Spurs have not played. You can't come away and say Spurs have played well enough this season. There's more to. You saying this is the best Spurs we can see? There's more to come. Spurs are better than what we've seen.
Okay, but that's what you want at the start of a season, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
We're not flying. We're not Arsenal at the minute, who are flying and playing well, but we still picked up results. We had one poor performance against Arsenal.
But there's the eyeball test, right? You look at a game and you think to yourself, have Spurs deserved in a 90-minute game? Can you see a better version of this Spurs? I think that's what Spurs fans are saying. Because actually, the truth is, no. There have been games this season where you come away with good results without the performance.
All right, let's go to Glenn, who's a Liverpool fan. Glenn, good evening.
Hi, mate. Are you okay?
Yeah. Look, Glenn, you've been at the game tonight. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought it was good, to be honest. But I want to have a little debate with Jason here, to be honest, because Nunez, his words before where he was going completely central, which he's obviously just been looking at YouTube videos there of the highlights afterwards, because he was absolutely everywhere. If you actually looked at the game himself, you probably put him as a winger completely. And yeah, I don't agree with what he said at all there.
Did you have the game on, Jace? You had the game.
We were watching two games at the same time, Glenn. But we're talking about him in front of goal tonight.
Yeah.
You know those. What I'm saying is,
you didn't talk about him in front of goal at all. You stipulated that he was completely central, and he was not. He was all over the place.
I didn't say he was central.
Yes, you did.
Glenn,
go back on your radio station.
Glenn, those words never left my lips, mate, because I didn't say that. What?
Don't be so. Listen, Jason.
Glenn,
Listen. Don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me.
Glenn, just don't misquote me. Don't misquote me, Glenn. Don't misquote me.
I'm not misquoting you at all. I'm not misquoting you at all. You said he went central, and that is not what he said.
Glenn, you've misheard me, mate.
No, I didn't.
Right,
you didn't say when attacking. You didn't say any, you said he was completely central, and he was not. And he was not. You talk. Listen.
I agree with Glenn.
Glenn,
Glenn, you bang on. You bang on.
Glenn,
you bang on.
Glenn, those words never left my lips.
Yes, they did. Yes,
Glenn, they did. Okay, listen. We're not gonna. If they did, I'll tell you. Glenn, look, he's misquoted me, right? He's misquoted. But what I've said about Nunez today is in front of goal, Mane finishes them. That's what I've said. Mane finishes those.
Yeah, look, I don't think you're digging out Nunez' all-round game.
No, I'm just saying, in front of goal, he has to put the ball in the back of the net. And against Rangers at home, when you're winning 2-0, it's fine. But let me tell you now, you get to the knockout stages. Last season, right, Liverpool win that game 4s and 5s, right? They blow teams away. Tonight, it was a little bit underwhelming. They had chances, but they weren't ruthless. And Nunez tonight, right, will come away thinking, I should have scored tonight. That's what I'm saying. And I never said, I don't know where he's heard that, but, you know.